Hello and welcome to the fourth installment of Falchi's Real Estate Facts. In this series, I aim to educate you on the fundamentals one should know when considering making a purchase in New York City. In our first three videos, we discussed the differences between condo and co-ops, best practices when touring open houses, and how to decide what offer you should make. Now that you understand what type of apartment that you are targeting, what to do when you're touring apartments, you have found the perfect place. Congratulations. You have thought critically about how much you would like to offer, so now it's time to submit your offer package. In this fourth video, I will be discussing the best practices to consider when submitting your offer package to purchase an apartment in NYC. All offers should consist of at least the following three elements: the offer amount, the percentage down, and your financial statement. There are additional inclusions unique to some purchase offers, but let's review these in more detail at the end. The offer amount is the price you've decided to offer to pay for the property you're interested in. Simple. The percentage down is the upfront down payment you're willing to offer with the understanding that you plan to finance the remainder using a mortgage. This down payment could be anywhere from a minimum of 10% in the case of a condo, 20% in the case of a co-op, all the way up to 100%. We refer to this in the industry as an all-cash offer, as you are not requiring any financing to make the purchase. Lastly, there must always be a financial statement included in any offer. The financial statement, not to be confused with a bank statement, is a summary of your financial information. There are sections to list your assets, liabilities, and income, and allow sellers the opportunity to review your financial situation at a glance. Additionally, they can use this information to calculate your DTI, or debt to income ratio. This figure is calculated by taking your monthly debt and dividing it by your monthly income to produce a percentage. Co-op boards typically want to see a DTI of 28% or lower, with some being a little bit more flexible and others more stringent. This is not a concern for condos, as they typically do not take this into account. It is important that the information you provide is accurate, as you will likely be asked to show supporting documentation later in the purchasing process. In the case you are financing, a pre-approval letter from a bank proving that you have been pre-approved for a loan will also be required to make an offer to purchase an apartment. Not to be confused with a pre-qualification letter from a bank, a pre-approval letters are only provided by banks when financial documentation has been provided by the purchaser proving they have the funds for the down payment and the income to take on their intended loan. A pre-qualification letter does not require any such information and is based purely on the word of the purchaser. In most cases, pre-qualification letters are not worth the paper they are printed on in the eyes of the seller. So it's always important to have a pre-approval letter from a bank for a ballpark of the purchase price and down payment percentage when you're closing in on a property of interest. It's worth noting that it takes a few minutes for a loan officer to update a pre-approval letter, but can take a few days for them to create one. So planning ahead is important, especially when there are other interested buyers involved. Now that you have your offer amount, percentage down, financial statements, and pre-approval letter from a bank, there is one final addition that can make, and in my experience often does make, all the difference. In the industry, we refer to it as a love letter, and you should think of it as your secret ace in the hole. A love letter is an industry term used to describe a letter to the current owner of the apartment. We call it a love letter because our intention is to try to woo the seller into choosing your offer with this letter. We do this in a few ways. Firstly, by including a bio, a short paragraph explaining what you do, who you are, and some of your interests and passions. Secondly, you should always flatter the owner by saying favorable things about their apartment. You could say something like this: "I just love the way you renovated your kitchen. My partner and I fancy ourselves as contestants on MasterChef, and I can't wait to cook in your thoughtfully designed kitchen." Then you should add a little paragraph about why you would be the perfect fit for this building. I feel as though I already have such an affinity with the wonderful community you have in your building. During my visits to the property, I've noticed special attention that is paid to the communal areas and gardens, and if chosen, I know that I would continue to uphold those high traditions. Lastly, I think it's always a nice touch to wish the seller all the best in their decision and with their own next steps for their future. This may all sound like a bit much, but you just never know who the seller might be and how much sentimental value they have invested in the property they are selling. They may be a couple of empty nesters who raise their children in the home, and the knowledge that you plan to use it for the same reason may be why they pick your offer over another that perhaps may even be a little higher than yours. For some crazy reason, most buyers do not submit a love letter with their offer, making it a powerful addition to any offer package. There are, however, two exceptions that should be noted. Sponsor units, which are apartments held by the original developer, and new developments, for the simple reason that developers don't tend to care as much about your plans for the unit, I'm sad to say. The final addition that I like to personally include in all of my offer packages is the deal sheet. The deal sheet is typically reserved for sellers' brokers to send to buyers' brokers once an offer has been accepted. The deal sheet contains all the pertinent information surrounding the conditions of the deal, as well as all the parties involved, including the other most integral member of any buyer's real estate purchasing team, after of course the buyer themselves and the real estate broker, the buyer's real estate attorney. Once an offer is accepted, it's the buyer's real estate attorney that gets the ball rolling, and by including the deal sheet in our offer package, not only are we making a bold statement and proclaiming aloud to the seller that we are confident they are going to pick us, we are also saying that we are ready to move forward with due diligence, a term that I will review in later videos, and contract negotiations immediately. This helps to create the perception that our offer will be a quick, easy, and organized deal for the seller. Now that you are all set with your offer amount, percentage down, financial statement, pre-approval letter, letter to the owner, and deal sheet, you're ready to make your offer. Good luck. I hope you have found the fourth installment of Falchi's Real Estate Facts helpful. Please feel free to leave any comments or suggest any topics you would like me to review. I will do my best to get to everyone's requests and will continue to post more videos for my ongoing series, Falchi's Real Estate Facts. Thank you so much for watching.